Oh my goodness. I still had the heat on the whole way home. A little hot now. It's only +4. Still +4. It is 4:15 in the afternoon on Wednesday. That was a long day. We knew it was going to be a long day, but we got through it. For the most part, it was a great day. A couple of little issues. The only issue was a couple of sets went a little quicker than they were supposed to. Not the end of the world. But for the most part, everybody was really good. I have a top 10 list for today, but I am going to run, and it's mixed. 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. Top 10 horses the entire day. 85 horses trained today. Willpower Fashion had a small temperature, so he was scratched today. 85 horses trained. I'm going to talk about all of them right now. Set number 1 was the 3-year-olds, really blue chip, Nancy Allison. Just for me and you, sometimes things happen. Inland Beach, Willpower Fashion was scratched. Sometimes things, just look at the horses that were in with this colt. Inland Beach and Just for Me and You fillies, Nancy Allison filly, and really blue chip filly. But look at the horses that were in with this horse. Really blue chip has already been in 2 minutes in Florida. Now this was her first fast training trip since she came back from Florida. Nancy Allison qualified in 59 and looked great last week. Training with Globetrotting. We'll get to her in a bit. Just for Me and You doesn't get around the turns good, but still has been training great. Qualified in 2 minutes weeks ago, and Inland Beach qualified last quarter in 27 and 4 weeks ago. So sometimes things happen. Cut it all out, did all the work, and put everybody away. Really blue chip was first over, and she worked hard right to the wire and looked good. We won a mile in 2:13, and that was a very, very good set. But the most impressive thing was sometimes things happen. This is a colt that was a bit of a mascot last year, right? He had those big long pasterns, clunky gated thing. Won his first start with Brett Miller, 2-1 at Scioto, and then worked okay all year. Ended up the year, I believe, at the Delaware County Fair, and raced good. But a much better horse now. No hobbles on him now, and Jason's done a great job with him. He looks like $1 million. Looked really, really good and really professional today. So sometimes things happen. These 3-year-olds are all ready to go for the most part. I'd like to get a couple of hard weeks of work into really blue chip, but no hobbles for sometimes things happen and really blue chip this year, and they certainly will not need them. Set number 2, bit of a coming out party for Adrenaline Rush. That was an impressive workout. Now, I had one of our clients message me and say, Broadway Roll, you moved her 3 times. You were 3 wide once. What would be wrong with just getting in the 2-hole and then just popping out down the lane? Nothing, except it would teach her nothing. For these horses to get stronger, they're going to have to get tired right now sometimes. It's part of being an athlete, right? You want to work harder than the guys on the team, you have to work harder than the guys on the team, the starting squad is tough to make, and when it comes to these horses and being athletes, they are going to have to work incredibly hard right now. And if they work hard right now, I can promise you they won't have to work as hard all summer. I can put them in a 2-hole and race them out of the 2-hole. But when it comes to training, I have no interest in going easy and trying to, as somebody said, build their confidence. I don't need to build their confidence. We'll build their confidence when they're racing. Right now, what they need to do is be ripped down, so to speak. Turned into a hard training athlete, so that when they get to the track and they do get away in the 2-hole, they make quick work of the horse in front of them. And that's the whole point of it, right? You need to work very, very hard to get to where you want to be. And our horses are good horses, but some of them got to race against great horses. And it's not always going to be the fastest horse that wins. The smartest horse, or the horse that wants it the most, same as anything else in life, is going to be the one that comes out on top. And I want Broadway Roll to know that. I want her to work hard today and know that when I put her in a position not to work hard, she doesn't squander it. And I think that's the difference between talking about training or watching training and actually training, is that you really have to put in the extra work. You really have to go the extra mile, and I truly believe these horses have to also. Adrenaline Rush got driven hard today. 3 wide at the start, removed him to the front, and fought off everybody. Broadway Roll went a big, big mile to be second. Momo, I got in Momo's way getting into last turn, but I did that on purpose. I knew what would happen. I wanted to go in 25. We end up going in 24. And I knew if Momo came with a big rush, we'd go in 22, and I just didn't want to do that. So, yeah, I saw him move out, and I moved out a little bit, and he went back in, and I went back in. We just kind of sat there. And down the lane, Momo had a lot of pop to her. Well and down, Jameson said every time we put the brakes on, she'd throw her head and throw her head and throw her head. I said, good. Continue to put her in that position until she stops throwing her head. She wears a brain cord. She wears a tie down. We'll make sure we can tighten it up. But eventually she's going to stop throwing her head and she's going to pay attention. And that's why these training sets are built in the way they're built. Susie K, I wasn't really worried about. She's just putting in time. Desperado, Steve said, he's a little tired. He's on the right line. To be honest, Steve, I don't know if he gets along real good with Desperado. I mean, I love Desperado. Every time I go with this horse, I think he tries great and he trains great. I really like him, but I guess maybe he's not for everybody. I'll try to go with him next time. I really enjoy going with him. I don't think I have to go with Broadway Roll again. She was great. And then GW Chrome has been working so hard. And I just said to Johnny when we went out, I said, hey, just move him once at the start of the mile and then don't move him again and let him trot hard down the lane. He's just been moved. And he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to prove anything. The horse has figured it all out, and he goes fast a car. Let's just put some muscle on him in a conservative way for the next couple of weeks, and go from there. So that was the second set. Third set, I'm a Lovely Lady, Lincoln Hanover, Rose Run, Why Not, Eclair AM, Cirrus Blue Chip, Mama Knows Best, and I had Frilly Fringes. I really just thought Frilly Fringes had to beat I'm a Lovely Lady. I said, this is going to be a decent training mile. I only want to go around 25, same as the other one went in 23. But Lincoln Hanover was incredibly good. I don't think anybody, not even Mario, could have predicted he would have went that mile. Cleared over to the front. I got away in the 2-hole, and I moved Frilly Fringes early. I said, I'll just sit beside Lincoln Hanover, and I'll just coast by him at the wire. Just braving her up, and he can work to the wire. I don't want to beat up on her. I knew that James was right behind me. We come out of the last turn. If I'm a Lovely Lady can't out-trot a horse from the head of the lane to the wire, that horse is moving. Now the track was deep and blah, blah, blah. But Lincoln Hanover was in the same track I'm a Lovely Lady and Frilly Fringes was. And Eclair AM, Johnny said we'd put a snake cord on her because she gets a little hot. And she got root in her head and throwing her head, made a little break. But she was flying at the wire on the inside. So Lincoln Hanover was incredibly good. Eclair AM looked very, very good. Frilly Fringes was good, and I'm a Lovely Lady was good. They were all good, those 4 horses. Rose Run Why Not ended up in the first over position. She trained okay. Mama Knows Best again, Cirrus Blue Chip. Everybody did their work well in there from 23 to 24, 25. They were all inside that window, but Lincoln Hanover certainly caught my eye in today's sets. Set number 4, Better's Hope, Captain's Maid, Cut the Line, No Free Lunch, So Admirable, Stacy Hanover. Let's Roll On. We had made some significant changes again with Stacy, just trying to get her proper. I thought she was much better, but she really finished up strong on the end of the mile. I was impressed with the way she finished up. I think we're making gains in the right way. So Stacy Hanover's good, but I didn't win. Cut the Line won very handily, I believe. The set. Better's Hope was flying on the inside. Harry had Captain's Maid in the mix. She was on the outside. She was good. Danny was in the middle with Free Lunch. Johnny was right there also with So Admirable. Now let's roll on. James said when you guys really stepped on it, he just put a step in and I just babied him and get him back trotting fine. He didn't make a break and he didn't want to. He thought maybe he had his hobbles on too tight today. So we can fix that. He's going to let those hobbles out for next week. Set number 5, Tanzanite Tricks, Sweet Ambitions, Remen Hanover was Jason's colt. Perfect Record, Rideau Sunshine, Set the Mood, the Fat Cobra, and Working on a Beach Bod. James's horse, working on a beach bod in here. Jason's horse, Remen Hanover. Now, Tanzanite Tricks is not, I'll admit that she has been great the last 10 days, but I think I know why. Her back is really tense. Probably taking a lot of weight in a number of different places. For 3 weeks, she worked incredibly hard, and I've been very, very happy with her. But she needs to be backed off with, put a little more honest hard work into her and less speed into her for a couple of weeks, and I think she'll come around just fine. I asked Johnny after, I said, was she on a line? Not any more than ever. She just bites the right line a little bit in the turns. Was she lame? No, not lame anywhere. I said, so she was uncomfortable. He said, yeah, that's a good way to put it. She was uncomfortable. I said, okay. I'm pretty sure even over her back, she's very sore. She could have been horsing a little bit. A number of things to be causing that. Nevertheless, it's not a big deal. We can get to the bottom of that pretty quick. By pretty quick, I don't mean I can fix it tomorrow. I mean, it's going to take a good week, 10 days to get Tanzanite Tricks back on track. Not a big deal. Sweet Ambitions made a break. Mark thought her hobbles were... I got to go with this mare at some point, this filly. She looks good at times. Looks like she has some speed, and she's always trotting, so I never really have a chance to go with her. I'm going to go with her Saturday, and I might go with her again next week. Rem in Hanover, I think he was good. Jason went with him. He's a pretty little colt, does his work well, and Jason's happy with him, so that's good. Perfect Record made a little break at the half. Danny said he just got doubled up and made a little tiny break. He said, I wonder, maybe put the hobbles on him? I said, yeah, go ahead if you want to. If you think they'll help it. If you think it'll help him, then go ahead. So Perfect Record. Probably going to have the hobbles on the next time. What about Rito Sunshine? I had enough, I said. And it wasn't Harry's fault. Harry did a great job getting the horse healthy, getting the horse perfect. Now, last week he was on the line, and he caused a little bit of a kerfuffle there at the 5/8. But Harry has him hung up great today. I cut him loose today and really put him through the paces, and he looked really, really good, finished up strong. I was impressed with Rito Sunshine. Set the mood. Little hot, Mario said. He runs into the turns, but got that hood on him. Got to put a little... It's tough. You can't put a snake coat on because he wears a jawbreaker. So maybe he's gonna have to think outside the box. Set the mood was good, but a little rough in the fifth corner. And made a little break, but was good otherwise. The Fat Cobra was good. Chris likes going with him. One of these days I'll jump on and go with him, but he's doing his work well. That's all that matters just yet. And then working on a beach bod, made a little break in the last turn, James said, but he was better also. So Rito Sunshine was fantastic. Tanzanite Tricks we're going to work on. Perfect Record, maybe get the hobbles on him. Other than that, pretty remedial stuff out of set 5. Set 6 was a good bunch. Went a little too much. 217, a little too much. Can't Muscle Me. Warwee was up. Tipsy and Dixie, that's my girl. Warwee Welcome won my heart. Hanover, I was very happy with the set itself. Warwee Welcome I thought was a little rolly on that deep track, but did her work well and stayed at it. Warwee Was Up looked awesome. This is a colt that's been looking to do good things for a while. And I actually had myself down to drive this colt, and Kevin came to me and said, hey, can I go with Warwee Was Up? I really like going with him, and I'd like to go with him this week. I said, yeah, go ahead. He was good, both him and Mario. Maybe went a little too much, but at the same, not maybe, they did. But at the same time, they'll be fine. They'll come out next week, I'm sure, and be just fine. I said, I'm not worried about going too much today. Just don't do it again next week. So we'll put them in easier sets and back them up next week. Can't Muscle Me was great. Danny understood what was going on. So did Harry and James and I. The two up front are going a little too much. I ended up third, I think, with Won My Heart Hanover. Can't Muscle Me, Tipsy and Dixie, and That's My Girl were all right there, I believe. James said That's My Girl was very, very good. This entire set was extremely good, but Warwee Was Up, Warwee Welcome obviously have lots to offer and look like they're well on their way to racing and doing some damage this summer. Set number 7. Muscle Chrome, Brilliant Corners, Canadian Titan, Off-Road Hanover, Walk on the Moon, Rose Run Versatile. Bit of a mixed bag in this set. You had 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds, but I think it was well staggered. Rose Run Versatile, Jason said, was bomb-proof today. Said she was awesome, did her work well. Walk on the Moon was coming to her. He showed his grit today. He looked awesome. Canadian Titan I thought was good. I just took her back. Want to get some flat lines in her. Want to get some confidence in her. Her hobbles were a little bit tighter than they needed to be today, but she did her work well. Off-Road Hanover looked good. Brilliant Corners behaved, looked good. Actually looked like a horse today. So very impressed with the way Brilliant Corners. If you look at her video 2 weeks ago, I was pretty negative about the way Brilliant Corners had been behaving and extremely concerned about the future of him. But impressed today. Looked very, very good. And then Muscle Chrome, again, just putting work in a lot of these 3-year-olds, just trying to keep them from being bored like us, right? Trying to get some muscle into them, keep their muscle on, keep them sharp and ready to go, but not overwork them. And I think we did a good job today. Muscle Chrome was just as good as you could ask her to be also. So Rose Run Versatile, Walk on the Moon were very good in both in that set in there. Set number 8. A little more meat on the bone here. This was a good crew. Sunshine's Finest, Arctic Force, first trip back in Canada. Maintenance Man, he hadn't raced in a long time, just trying to keep him tight. Time Houdini, Giddy Up Max, Bottle of Red, and then our girl Globetrotting. First stay with the hobbles on. I made some shoeing adjustments the other day, and we put the hobbles back on Globetrotting. I think I made a mistake with her hind shoes. We're going to correct that tomorrow. But the first break she made, James scared her. He might have touched her in the nose with the whip when he moved his whip. It's pretty obvious to see. The next time finishing up, she was screaming on the end of it. And Jason said, well, we were flying on the end of it. I said, yeah, she's supposed to fly. I'm not really concerned with the flying part. She got out of gear a couple of times down the lane. I think she was just close to touching herself. and just got a little bit out of gear. Not a big deal. I think that's easily fixed. We'll get on that tomorrow. I don't really know. Maintenance Man, I think, won that set. Mario said he was good, he was sound. I said, well, how can he be sound? He's been raced in 6 weeks. So, I mean, of course he is. But this might do him some good. I believe Illinois hopefully will open up in the next 3 weeks or a month. And if they do, Maintenance Man will make him start out there hopefully soon. Arctic Forest was a little rough. Harry told me his hobbles are just a little long. They were long. I went by him in the last turn on the inside. And he goes, hobbles are a little long, bud. And I look over and they're quite a bit long. But Doug had been training him without hobbles or on a bigger track, so it's not a big deal. All he has to do is pull those hobbles in on Arctic Forest. I believe he already has. And he'll be just fine. Man, oh man, he looks like $1 million. Doug Brown did a great job with Really Blue Chip and Arctic Forest. Timo Houdini finished up strong, looked good. Giddy Up Max was good. Bottle Red was good. And again, Globetrotting, few little tinkers here and there, but you can see that raw talent and power starting to bubble up again. She's getting ready real soon. Just have to get that little wrinkle out of her. And that isn't a new wrinkle. That's been there forever. She did that before, training down at 2. She did that in the middle of summer training. I think she'll be just fine. Set number 9, Argento, Cambridge Star, Barbie's Crown, Surreal Love, My Jazz, Girls with Swirls, Sunshine of May, and I'm Hill on Wheels. Barbie's Crown and I'm Hill on Wheels finished 1-2 in here, and they both looked really good. Barbie's Crown had a first over bid for well over 5/8 of a mile. And looked really good, finishing up strong. Exactly what I wanted to see from this filly. I'm Hill on Wheels looked rather good. 3 wide at one point, controlled the mile, and was coming back to me down the lane. Barbie didn't want no more. She finished off the win, she finished off the mile, but I'm Hill on Wheels was coming back to her. Both those looked really good. Harry said Surreal Love was on the left line a bit. He's got an old curb that bothers him a little bit. We're going to get that re-crowd, I believe. And there's every so often he'll get on that left line, and you'll see that curb look a little warm, a little bulged out a little bit. So I think maybe there's something in there that they missed. Going to re-crowd that. I'm sure he'll be fine. It's certainly not anybody's fault. We had his curb crowd back in December, I believe, so it's been 4 months. I think that just a little maintenance on that curb, not a problem at all. My Jazz, Steve said, was really good, finished up good. Horse that pissed me off today was Argento. This is a horse that I thought trained well last week, trained well on Saturday, and then I was going to go with him, and I said, I want to go with Barbie. And I said, Argento will be fine. He wasn't fine. Argento is only making breaks because he's being a bit of a coward in the turns, and he's going to work very hard over the next 3, 4, 5 days to dispel that fear he has in the corners. There's nothing in the corners. There's no alligators waiting for him. He needs to push through the corners as hard as he does in the straightaways. This is just an immature thing. Not a big deal. I suspect the next time you see Argento, he'll be a different Argento. But nevertheless, I did let down Paul and Felix today. I said I would go with him. I said he wouldn't run, and I did not go with him, and he did run. So we'll fix that in short order. Cambridge Star was good again. Expectations for this guy. He's a nice little horse, does his work well. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with him this summer. I don't think he's a stake horse in Pennsylvania, but nevertheless, going to be a nice little horse to race. Girls with Swirls, Danny said, was much better today, did her work really well. Sunshine of May, same thing. Kevin was happy. These were both, Sunshine of May is a small filly for that headwind that was starting to pick up, and they're on the 9th schooler anyway, or 9th training set anyway. And Girls with Swirls, I just wanted to get a nice, good flat line into her. Danny said she was good. 10th set, Knockdown, Dragout, Brush Cut, Sunshine, and Shade. Capistrano, Frontier Cruise, Beach Bum BB. Now the boys were at it again. Mario and Kevin went a little too much in this set. Went a mile about 2:10. I wanted to go around 2:13. I could see that they were going a little much, starting by the 3/8, and I just left Knockdown, Dragout in. Track was a little deep today. She does wear flip-flops. You can see down the lane when I move her out and she really starts to trot. She's got, her gait just explodes high, right? Her gait got bigger. She got a little swimmy looking. That's just those flip-flops on that deeper track. Certainly no concerns here. She finished up her mile good. I started as far back as I finished, so I too went a mile in 2:09, 2:10, and she was very good. Brush Cut just went around to stay tight. Sunshine Shade was very good, but did not get to Frontier Cruise. They both fought to the wire and both looked good. Capistrano was third, well in hand. Harry said said she was awesome. And Beach Bum BB struggled a little bit in the track, in that speed, in the wind. Old Beach Bum said maybe next week. But Beach Bum BB is not going to beat Capistrano. She's not going to beat Sunshine and Shade, Knockdown, Dragout. And the two colts were very good today. So Beach Bum BB needs to be in where she can do some damage, not where she's going to have damage done to her. We can fix that next week. 11th set, Kerry Big Stick, Jazzy Judy, Jessie Balboa, Northern Blizzard, Miss Meringue, Italian Grit. Two standouts in here for me were Miss Meringue and Italian Grit. Both look great. Italian Grit looked really, really good. Northern Blizzard, running in a little bit. He's made that break at least 45,000 times on Danny in the same spot. You have to give him a little bit of room, but he doesn't feel like he's going to do it, and then all of a sudden he does it. It's not the end of the world. As I said to Danny, I wanted to back him off for the next couple of weeks anyway. So today, Saturday, and next Wednesday, just miles and 35 or 40 for this guy, nothing special. Jessie Balboa, hadn't trained in a while, sporadically, and looked really good today. Came out of the training set good and was eating lunch when I went down there. Looked great. Jazzy Judy, there is something up with Jazzy Judy's mouth. Okay, you can see her throwing her head and acting up. We put a leather bit in her mouth, but I've noticed a couple of times she'll grab the right line hard, but be running out. Just the opposite of what she should be doing. She's really throwing her head. It makes me believe, and I've had the vet check her mouth a couple of times. They're missing something. There's a cracked tooth or a piece of a wolf tooth or something in that filly's mouth that is bothering her. So I may just take her to the vet clinic up at Melissa McKee's next week and have her look at Jazzy Judy. Something is up with Judy's mouth. Otherwise, she did her work rather well. And Kerry Big Stick was the other horse. Johnny said, I want to say that he got spooked when the horse made a break, but the horse made a break 10 feet ahead of me. Kerry Big Stick doesn't have the same confidence level and knowledge level the other horses had because he's been on the run all winter. He never really learned how to take in things that are going on the track. So, yeah, if a horse makes a break 10 feet in front of him, he may shy away and make a break from it. He said, Anthony, the horse was perfect afterwards. So he's perfect. Not a big deal. Throw it out. The horse has been good the last 2 weeks. I've been very happy with Kerry Big Stick. Just let him keep moving forward. Don't worry about today. But clearly the two standouts in there after Northern Blizzard's break was Miss Meringue and Italian Grit. Set 12, there was no two ways about it. Beef and Cheddar. I don't find Beef and Cheddar as good on the front end, but he was awesome today. Very good mile. Very good training set for him. Fox Valley Britska I thought was incredibly good, and First Glance was incredibly good also. Braemar was good. Blue Monk finished up good. Eternity Road made a little break. James thinks he needs to add a little vet wrap under the boots behind. He believes he's touching himself, and he's probably right. So little tinkering with Eternity Road, but overall a very, very good set. Johnny had said to me after with Braemar, when you guys hit the gas, you kind of leave him a little bit. And I said, Johnny, he has 80 or 100 pounds of muscle to put on him. I've told everybody I believe that Braemar will be a very, very good 2-year-old, but you'll see him start to show up in August. And I told him, I said, when he starts to put that muscle on, there's nobody in this property that's going to step away from him, so you don't have to worry about that. Our job right now is to make sure he understands racing, make sure he understands how to stop, how to start, how to sit in a hole, how to sprint when you ask him. These are the fundamentals that we need to teach him now, and we are well on our way. He's doing everything right. I'm not concerned with anybody sprinting away with him, although Beef and Cheddar looked very good again today. 13th set, the last set, felt like it was 3 months of training. Sebastian Yu, Rose Run Valiant, Rooney Blue Chip, Zeb Sunshine, Harness AM, Ale Sun. One of the most unlikely victories I would ever have at Tamiko would be at any point thinking Rooney Blue Chip would come first over from 6th. He wasn't 6th, right? 5th. First over from 5th. And beat these horses, beat a good pacer that already qualified in 55 and a couple of really solid trotters. Ale Sun had us, and Jason made a little break with Ale Sun. I think he asked her for a little too much at the wrong time, and she made a little break. But Rooney Blue Chip, I think I just got up to beat Zeb Sunshine, and if I didn't, I don't really care. Rooney Blue Chip was nothing short of absolutely incredible today. 2:12 last half in like a minute and 3/5, a minute and 4/5, and looked sensational. I never would have believed this colt could do what he did today. Just a very, very good mile from him. Zeb Sunshine was good. Harness AM was good. Ale Sun was great. Jason just maybe pushed her off her feet a little bit. Rose Run Valiant was acceptable. He was okay. He hates a deep track, but he needs to put in a little more of a work ethic, a little better work ethic moving forward. But he was better again today. And Mario said Sebastian Yu struggled in the deeper track, but he's not an easy horse to train in 213, I can tell you that. So I'll go with Sebastian Yu next week if we go with him. I'll go with him Saturday to make sure everything's all right. I'm sure it is. He's just not a real fun horse to drive at that speed. So that was all the sets. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what I saw today. My top 10 list right now for everybody. Coming in at number 10 was... I have Sunshine. Why wouldn't you do a better job saying what Sunshine? We have a number of Sunshines, Anthony. Who was Sunshine and Shade? Oh, Rito Sunshine. Number 10, Rito Sunshine. This horse had that trip coming for a while. I woke him up today. I put him in gear. I moved him hard 3 wide at the half, cleared off the lead, and really finished up strong. Rito Sunshine, that I've been waiting for a while, showed up today. Really happy with what I saw from him. Harry's done nothing less than an exceptional job with this horse the last month or so. Number 9, Barbie's Crown. Well over 5/8 of a mile. I was first over, just quietly and methodically, as they used to say, methodically grinding up on the outside. Halfway around the last turn, it's almost like you just give her a breath of fresh air, just give her a second to catch her thoughts, shake the lines at her, and gone. And she cleared off the lead and won the set. Impressive looking mile from Barbie's Crown today. Number 8, Sometimes Things Happen. This horse deserves to be on this list. I don't care what anybody thinks. He was as I said, our mascot last year. Nobody really paid much attention to him. He was an okay horse. I think he could do some good things this year, this horse. And Sometimes Things Happen without hobbles on. Beat some good horses today. I can't wait to get this horse to Ohio. Number 7, Cut the Line. What can I say? She moved to the front